everyone, it's Bob McCraney with This Month in Realty, and today I'm so excited to have back Kimberly Barton. Kimberly is the owner of Kinetic Realty in Annapolis, Maryland. Kimberly, tell us about the market in Annapolis, please.
Well, this year has been rather interesting with the fact that once we got through some of the COVID in the beginning of the year in spring market, the summer market took off to be our biggest market in quite a number of years. In fact, 10 years, we had the best market possible. Anne Arundel County over the last few months has become the star of the real estate market in all of Maryland, with sales and prices being a 10-year records across the board. We did see in July our highest point of market activity, buyer activity, closings, sales, and listings. We had a little bit of a fall off in August, and then coming into the fall market, we're starting to see a few things that have changed a bit.
Okay. So tell me what's different then between the fall market and the summer market.
We saw a little bit of buyer activity kind of scale back in August, which typically August is a very slow month comparable to the rest of the year. However, for this August, it was actually the best August in 10 years, but it was a little lower than July, with mostly everybody thinking about school and other things as they're transitioning into the fall. September saw buyers coming back to the market. We saw rates go a little lower, and that really bode well for a lot of the buyers who were kind of putting off because they weren't sure what they were going to do. So we saw buyers come back. So September and October so far have actually shown a lot of buyer activities. We're seeing contracts up, and we dropped to 11 days on the market from 17 days on the market in July. So September and October actually have been proving to be quite robust for both buyers and sellers.
Okay, excellent. So if I wanted to be a buyer or seller between now and the end of the year, is that realistic, and what do I need to do?
It is realistic. However, you do have a few challenges to overcome. One is that we have holidays coming up, Thanksgiving and then the Christmas holidays, and that typically does slow down the process. However, if you are working with a lender who has the ability to close more quickly, that is always helpful. And that's the due diligence on the buyer side to make sure that they're vetting their lenders really well. The other thing that you are going to see as an issue, both on the buyer and seller side, is that because there has been so much activity in the market, we're finding that professionals are not readily available. Home inspectors' schedules are just booked. Finding a home inspector is probably one of the biggest challenges for a buyer right now. Normally, you can get an inspection done in 7 to 10 days. I'm seeing some inspectors not available for 30 days, which is a difficult thing for a lot of people to get through. So sellers are also getting frustrated because they're asking to be extending their contract, and that's not always a good thing, because if something happens, then they don't have a contract and have to go back on the market.
Right.
It is still possible, but you do have to line up things. You have to also make sure that you're doing all your due diligence on the front end, make sure that your financing is really tight. You're working with professionals who know how to get the process moving. And the next thing is, when the appraisal is ordered, we're seeing a lot of appraisers having problems turning the appraisals around as quickly as they typically do. So that is another hurdle that may be a problem. So as we're moving towards the 15th to 20th, it may not be likely. However, we are seeing that because the market has been moving the way it is, we are recommending that if sellers are considering buying, not to stay off the market through the holidays, because the holidays actually may prove to be much better than expected. And if the winter season in Maryland is not, is more on the mild side, we are likely to see a lot of buyer activity going straight through the holidays through January and February. So it is actually a good time to consider selling if you are in that mode, not waiting to the spring market, because we really don't know what the spring market might be. We know right now in this moment of time what the market looks like, and it is really rosy.
Excellent. Excellent. So
Okay.
how would somebody reach you?
You can reach me at Kimberly at KBARTON realtor.com, or call me at 443-837-5645.
Loop that one more time.
443-837-5645, or email Kimberly at KBARTON realtor.com.
Okay. Will you come back next month?
Definitely. Would love to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody tune in this month. This has been This Month in Realty. Tune in next month to hear more from Kimberly and other experts around the United States and Canada. Have a great Thanksgiving.